I'm Whammy, and welcome to an episode reaction ramble for the episode Three's a Crowd. Okay, gonna go ahead and start with two really quick housekeeping things in regard to the episode. First, we have Fluttershy leaving to go visit the Breezies, which seems to be a foreshadowing for a possible future episode, since we do know there's supposed to be an episode called It Ain't Easy Being Breezy, or something like that. Second, we got a brief cameo by Flash Sentry, which means that I'm going to have to probably spend the next week listening to people whine about it. Seriously, people, he stood there and did nothing. He said nothing. Don't freak out simply because he exists. Of course, I didn't really have that much of an issue with the character anyway, other than him being slightly boring, so even if he did do something, I still wouldn't care. But still, he didn't do anything. Don't freak out about it. So anyway, the main plot of this episode was basically Discord faking being sick in order to have an excuse to visit Twilight while Cadence is visiting, annoy the hell out of her, in order to test whether or not she was really a true friend. And I'm going to have to say that while I liked the episode at first, looking back on it, I'm actually starting to become rather horrified at Discord's character at this point. Honestly, if this is supposed to be an example of a character who's reforming himself, the writers are failing horribly. I mean, he's not even learning about friendship at this point. He's learning how to manipulate emotional impact of friendship in order to get what he wants. I mean, let's just look at the situation here for a moment. Discord was randomly in a tree, he claims, when he started thinking, you know what, I'm not even really sure if Twilight's my friend. In order to figure that out, I'm going to put her to the test. First off, A, friendship is not about putting people to the test because you have doubts about your friendship. 2, B, the test that he comes up with it is basically going to see if how much he can annoy Twilight and force her to bend to his every whim because he is sick. And if she refuses, uses the argument that, oh, well, yes, you're not really my friend, or, oh, you're too good for me now, or blah, 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 blah. Like I said, he's not learning friendship at this point. He's learning how to use friendship as an emotional weapon against people that he can use to get what he wants. And furthermore, to be honest, Twilight and them aren't even his friends. Fluttershy, maybe, although, to be fair, she's also kind of whipped out the emotional manipulation, specifically in the opening two-parter, when she stated that if Discord misbehaves, she'll no longer be his friend. And while people aren't under an obligation to stay friends with people who they don't believe are behaving right, or are mean or rude or whatever, that's still kind of a manipulative move on her part. So hey, maybe that's where Discord learned it. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, Applejack and Rarity and Pinkie Pie were only offering to take care of him, not because of anything regarding friendship, but simply because they were trying to keep him away from Cadence and Twilight, because the moment they heard that he knew about the visit, they fully understood that his purpose for coming here wasn't because he needed to get taken care of, it was to go ruin their day. And yeah, actually he makes that pretty clear at the end when Cadence states that her day wasn't ruined. He acts surprised. And when the two of them go in for an emotional hug, he has his arms crossed and is kind of giving him a bit of a grouchy glare. Which makes it pretty obvious that his intention was in fact to try to ruin their day and damage their friendship in some form or another. Now people keep trying to claim that, oh well, he's just being a trickster mentor. Now, first off, what can Discord offer Twilight in terms of mentorship? Can he give her lessons on friendship? No, because A, she became a freaking alicorn because she learned about the magic of friendship, and B, he didn't even value it until supposedly Keep Calm or Flutter On, but I'm starting to even question that now. Is he supposed to be a mentor for her in terms of leadership? His last reign of Equestria was basically just a giant sadistic funhouse for his amusement. There is nothing that Discord can mentor Twilight in except how to be an emotionally manipulative jerk. So yeah, I mean, there might have been a way that this episode could have been done, where Discord still uses emotional manipulation and all that, but learns an actual appropriate lesson regarding friendship, and admittedly is the way I thought the episode was going to be when it started, which was, I thought that Discord might have been faking sickness, which I was right on, But my thinking was he was faking sickness because he heard that Fluttershy was going away, and he was lashing out because his friend was going away and he wouldn't have access to her. So he was going to come here, bother everybody with the fake sickness, and I guess eventually convince them to take him to this place. Actually, I thought when he said, "Oh, well, here's this magical flower that'll help me," I thought he was going to have the flower conveniently be located where the Breezies were, so that way he'd trick everybody to take him to go visit Fluttershy. Yes, it still would have been emotionally manipulative and all that, but they could have done it by calling him out on it, and he could have learned a lesson about, and actually, you know what? The lesson of the episodes would have still worked, because just because your friends go away and you aren't going to see them doesn't mean they're any less of your friend. Friendship can survive being separated. Everything would have still worked, and Discord, while yes, would have been acting like a Discord jerk, would have learned a lesson in friendship, made a notice that his behavior was wrong, and all the problems I just stated wouldn't have been there. Instead, we pretty much get Discord acting like a manipulative, emotional jackass, without any real lashback at him. And Cadance and Twilight have some moments together, and it's just, yeah, at this point, honestly, they're really going to have to fix this Discord Reformation arc if they really want to make it actually seem like a real, actual Reformation, and not Discord basically just learning a new way to manipulate people. So anyway, this has been Whammy, and I would like to remind you all, I'm still doing a question-answer special, and I am really in need of some questions, so please feel free to send some. And this has been another episode Reaction Ramble.